Hello everyone, my name is SurrealBeliefs and welcome to another modification review where I'll be going over a mod called All Tabletop Lords, and you'll be using that modification in every playthrough, I can guarantee you that. Now, I would like to go over a few things before we actually get to the battle, because I want you to know what the mod is all about. So there are a few goals for the mod that provide the foundation of what development will be based on. First off, every unit in the mod will be lore friendly. It's going to add in lords and legendary lords to your campaign for every faction eventually. Right now, we only have them for the Empire. Now, the units are actually meant to be used in the vanilla roster of the game. You can use it with like other mods and things like that, but if it tweaks other units, then it won't affect these lords at all. Now, they're also made sure to be balanced to where you can actually use them in a multiplayer setting. They're made to be fine-tuned for that type of gameplay. They're working very hard at doing that, and they've done a great job. Now, right now in the mod, you have the Arch-Lector, the Bright Wizard Lord, the Light Wizard Lord, the Grandmaster, the Celestial Wizard Lord, and there's going to be much more on the way too. Like for the Empire, they'll be adding in the Beast Wizard Lord and Kurt Helborg as a legendary lord. And for the Dwarfs, you're going to have the Demon Slayer, Rune Lord, Beligar, Ironhammer as a legendary lord. Then for the Orcs and Goblins, who really need a lot more lords, you'll be having the Black Orc War Boss, a Savage Orc War Boss, a Goblin War Boss, a Orc Great Shaman, Gorbad Ironclaw as a legendary lord. And then for the Vampire Counts, you're going to have a Strigoi Ghoul King, which is very cool, and a Vlad von Karstein as a legendary lord. And I will talk a little bit about the Pyromancer lore. Whenever I introduce a new character, I like to talk a little bit about lore, but we're not quite there yet. Now, the Beastmen who are coming out in a week or so, they'll be getting the Doom Bull, a Great Bray Shaman, and Gorthor, the Beast Lord, as a legendary lord. Bretonia will be getting the Prophetess of the Lady and the Green Knight as a legendary lord. And then for our own Pyromancer here, let's go over him real quick. He's got a tree on the campaign map called the College of Fire Magic, and that is a yellow tree, which means that it's all about him. It's a self tree, whereas when you have red and blue, blue is for the campaign map, red will affect your army, and that's how all of that works out. Now his stats are balanced and inspired by Gelt and the Battle Wizard. He's got 3 new unique abilities and skills. One would be Pyromancer of Akshi, Lore Master of Fire, and Frightening Magic, which I'm trying to show you right now. Then we have 2 new unique starting traits, and that would be Fairy Temper and Fire Crotch, and traits you would be able to see in a campaign where, you know, you click on your character and you're able to see it there. Now, you can ride on a Warhorse, a Bartered Warhorse, or a Pegasus mount, and in the future there will be custom unit models, there will be multiple unit cards, and new skill icons too. Okay, here we go. I've got Outriders. I'm hoping that they're actually quite handy being able to shoot from behind. I'm not sure if they will be. Now, I will be zooming in a lot, so my micromanagement will not be the best in the world. We're fighting a very large army. We've got mortars beginning to shoot ahead. That is going to work out pretty darn well, I'm sure. Yeah. I brought in my Great Swords, I brought in my Halberds, and all of that. It's going to be a very long and tough battle. And I only have one mod enabled right now, the current one that I'm talking to you about. So don't worry about that. It's all balanced for the vanilla version of the game, which is my overall goal to show you how that is. And I will be covering every lord in the modification too. And I will be going over their abilities, their lore, and all of that. So you'll know all about them, which is great. Okay, here we go. We're getting ready right now. All right, back we go. It's all working out. We're not quite done yet. Let's see here. But yeah, they're more normally known as a Bright Wizard. Let's go ahead and use a spell right now. Try to find out what damage we can do. From what I know about the Bright Wizard Lord, he's actually pretty good in melee. I mean, he's not going to beat a melee Lord, but in terms of being able to actually hold his own in melee, he's able to do that. I mean, I've been wanting more lords for every faction. I felt like a lot of them were pretty bare. I mean, I felt like if you could have a hero, then there should be a lord version of the hero too. Because, I mean, a Arch-Lector can lead a army. A Bright Wizard Lord might be able to lead a army and all of that. Okay, they're shooting, so maybe they will do well. Uh-oh. What is that spell coming at me right now? That did a lot of damage. Whoa, that blew right through them, a giant hole. Now that's actually very effective. Now they have Cryptors moving in. That was a really good move on the part of the AI. That's actually very effective. That's gonna hurt them a lot. That's really good. Okay, well, the Pyromancer, or the Bright Wizard, is one of the 8 colleges of magic. They're from the Bright Order, and again, that is one of the 8 colleges of magic who train wizards in the Empire. And they specialize in using fire, and they have a vast knowledge of pyromancy. And they're really known for having a reputation for being temperamental, which is probably not a great thing. You know, if you've got destructive capabilities and you have a temper. But that is actually the Wind of Magic name for the fire Wind of Magic, and that would be Akshi. Now, humans can only learn 1 Wind of Magic. If you're like a high elf, then you can learn more. And there's more magic than the 8 winds of magic for humans. But for humans, they can only pick from their 8 winds of magic. And they are unable to really control and comprehend the capability to control more than 1 wind of magic. Whereas, again, a high elf would be able to control much more. They have high magic, which is a lot more powerful. I mean, it would be Teclis, that famous high elf wizard who would even teach humans how to use magic. And I believe that was during around the time of Magnus the Pious, one of the greatest emperors of the Empire of all time. There we go. The damage is real. They are doing just fine. Okay, my middle formation is actually holding pretty well. I mean, they outnumber me big time. We're gonna use another burning head. We're gonna give them a burning head. I hope they have treatment for that. And there we go. Yeah, right now we're holding up. I mean, we do have a lot of units on the map, so it is slowing down a little bit. I am playing on DX12. I'm sure there might be like ways to optimize things where that won't happen, because I mean, I've got a very good processor and GPU to really show things off. But I am very glad that we have passionate mod makers, and they do it for free. They do it for the love and passion of what they do. And whenever you have them in a game, man, that really changes up your game big time. You're able to get a lot more done, because I mean, a company will only be able to produce so much. Think about like Elder Scrolls V, right? Mods are why people still play that game so much. I mean, I'm sure people would still play it and will try to shoot that Necromancer leader right now and destroy him. But mods really give life to a game. I mean, I began my PC gaming by playing mods a lot. Well, actually, back in the day, it was like StarCraft and Heroes of Might and Magic 3. But after that, when I got into things like Warcraft 3, that's when I began to learn about custom maps and all of that. And then Dawn of War got me into mods big time. I used to play their mods all the time. And we'll go into slow motion every so often. That way we can get a good look at the battle, because, you know, the overall feel of the vanilla fights, they're very quick. Now in Rome 2, at a certain point, they actually did slow things down. I feel like they do that because they want to appeal to people who might not be patient for slower battles, but I feel like eventually they will tone down the overall speed, which will definitely help a lot. We don't have auto casting for abilities, which is a little bit strange, because I mean, you've got a lot of micromanagement to do. It would be kind of nice if you could have them auto buff or whatever without you having to click on it each time, because I mean, the actual duration of a spell is often pretty short. It reminds me back in the early days of WoW when you would have to like cast a Blessing of Might every 5 or 10 minutes or whatever at a low tier, and eventually they put it to like an hour. It would be interesting for a warrior priest if like maybe you would cast a blessing and it would take away your pool of winds of magic or whatever for that period of time, but I don't think they work off of that same pool, so I mean that wouldn't be applicable. But I've always had like a more paladin type of view of the warrior priest, and I am a huge fan of the warrior priest. I played one in Warhammer Online, which I will always bring up. You're gonna hear a lot about that. I love Warhammer Online so much. The way they got the art down was incredible. Mark of Chaos got it down pretty well too, actually incredibly well. Like the intro cinematic for Mark of Chaos, incredible. One of the best in gaming in my own biased opinion. Okay, mortars are shooting. Outriders, I feel like I should micromanage them more, but again, I'm trying to zoom in a lot more and we're just trying to get into the battle. Usually I do a pre-recording and then I just provide post-commentary, but I wanted to kind of do one live to see how that would go, and I would want feedback from all of you if you would prefer for me to actually do some post-commentary where I can zoom in the entire time, or if you actually want to see how I control the battle. That's really up to all of you. Let me know. Any feedback is really good. It helps me out. It helps me know what all of you want. I can guess, but I don't always know. We're getting there. But yeah, for a actual wizard, he's actually very effective. He feels very good in melee combat. But again, we're only fighting necromancers, bringing their undead swarms here to fight us. I'm sure a melee warrior would be able to really break him down easily. There we go. Okay, Demigryph halberds are always very effective, especially in vanilla. I mean, they can be nerfed, but they're always going to be very effective. I actually thought the Blood Knights would be balanced in a way much like that, where they would be few in number, but they would be effective like the Demigryph Knights. The Blood Knights are very good. I haven't actually touched the multiplayer too much. I'm waiting for the Beastmen before I do that. I'll be playing a lot of the Beastmen. You'll be seeing a lot of that for sure. But yeah, as I said, I'll be covering every Lord in this mod eventually as time goes on. I'll cover all of the Empire or whatever comes out. That way we can have a really good overview of what they're all about. It's a good way to introduce people to the lore and to, oh, did I hit my own people? And to just really let people know more about a mod that you have incredible people working on. I mean, I've always been about mods on my channel. If you've been with me from the very beginning, then you know about that very well. I've always been about mods, always about supporting mods and things like that, just because of the passion of a fan is incredible, and they deserve support every day. Every day. Okay, they're healing up their own units with Invocation of Nehek. Taking a little bit of damage. I'm out of my mana pool right now, but we're doing all right. My mortar is hitting a few of my own guys, but really they're hitting a lot too. Yeah, the only issue with the Outrider is that I kind of noticed they kind of fire towards the direct center mass of a unit. If they had like a better firing arc and they would react a little bit better, I think more people would use them. But right now, handgunners are a lot more formidable to use. I think that I'm going to keep on trying the Outriders. Like right now, what I should be doing, I should be getting them around behind my foes and they would get a lot more kills. But I'm also trying to target at other enemy lords. And again, I'm not going to focus on trying to micromanage at my peak. Just so that I mean, look, if I wanted to do that, I wouldn't zoom in at all. Then we couldn't actually watch the battle. But I'm trying to zoom in every so often. But we are getting closer now. We're not quite there yet, but we are getting closer to the very end. And it's really just a way to show you an indication of how a Bright Wizard Lord can be used and how it can be utilized in a battle. Oh, right now we've got a Scriptors coming in. Now my Demigryph Halberds will be able to beat him up. I'm gonna try to shoot them if I can. Now that flickering, I will definitely solve. It's a NVIDIA driver problem from what I understand. It hasn't been fixed. I'm not sure what's going on with that, but I'm gonna find a way to fix that for sure. It's very strange. I just don't know why that's been like such a weird issue. There's got to be like some type of unique fix for it, but I'm gonna keep on looking at that. Apparently it's like an issue with the V-Sync, but I don't think I ever have that enabled, so I mean that's a little bit strange. But yeah, I'm still gonna look for it, or I'll look for, you know, a new driver, like I think 365.19 before May 23rd. Those provide potentially the best Total War Warhammer performance, so I might go back to that one just because I need to not have flickering, because I mean if I want to have a beautiful visual battle, then naturally I don't want that. Okay, we're about to end the fight here. It's actually kind of crazy. I didn't think I would win the fight. I mean, I'm looking at it. I mean, now, yeah, it's a little bit more clear cut because part of their army fell apart, but I thought things were actually pretty rough for a time. But if we look at how many I did lose, it's really not too bad. My halberds always lose a lot. I mean, I don't know if actually having other things would have been better or not, but that is about it, I think. We got it done. We did what we needed to do. We won a battle, and the Bright Wizard Lord got well over 100 kills, which is really impressive. So anyway, check out the mod down below. Make sure to uprate that mod, to add it to your favorites, and to give feedback too. It's always very important. But look forward to more content in the future, and let me know what you would like to see. Anyway, as always, until then.